Hey, Mark, Single Car Garage. How y'all doing? Getting back here in the garage. We've last probably month. I've been out on my farm working. I haven't done much in the garage, so I haven't posted any garage work. I did post some car shows that we've been to. Some pretty nice ones, some pretty nice cars. So I hope y'all had a chance to see that. What we're working on today is a 2000. This 2016 Camaro is an 8-speed automatic, 4-cylinder turbo. It's actually my wife's car. Great little car. It'll run a little bit quicker than a 14-second quarter mile, so not bad for 4-cylinder. Beat the hell out of the old V8s. But they have a shutter in the transmission. At about 30,000 miles, it started it, and I went to GM, asked them what to do, and they said, bring it in and we'll change the fluid. Okay, I will. Tell me how much that's going to be. $600. No, thank you. Went to my transmission guy that does all my transmission rebuilds for me. Asked him, and he told me, hey, you're at 30,000 miles. Get a tube of shutterproof, put in there. What it does is extra lubricates the transmission fluid, makes it slicker. Did that, had no problems. I've got 50,000 miles on it now, and he told me at 50,000 miles, he would change the fluid, fill it back up, and put another tube of that shutter guard in there. So that's what I am doing, is changing my fluid. These transmissions don't have a drain plug, so you have to pump the oil out. You take a tube right here, where my finger is a fill spot. Take that plug out, and this is what the plug looks like. This will be pushed down. Take a door, the tool that you take doors off with and take fasteners out with. Pop that up. You can also pop it up with a screwdriver and then pull that plug out. Once that plug is out, run your hose up in there and bring it down and put it to your evacuator and evacuate your transmission fluid. And it'll evacuate it down to about a quart and a half left in the pan. Then you can easily take the pan off. The other way of doing it is just dropping the pan. A little bit messier. I don't have a drain stand that's big enough for the pan, and I'm afraid that I'll spill a bunch on the floor, so I decided to evacuate it down, and I actually evacuated almost 6 quarts out of it, so it shouldn't be much left in the bottom of the pan. Then we'll pop the pan at one end and let it tip down to make sure that there is no extra transmission fluid in there than I think, and that I can handle it easily, and then I will pop the other two bolts off and pull the pan down. Okay, your pan has these 10mm bolts around it. Pop all them out. You'll want to leave the corners, all 4 corners in, and leave them to last, because the pan falls off real easy. So then loosen them. Make sure your pan's a little bit loose. Hold the bottom of the pan, take your last 4 off, and then you can just drop your pan down. It's dripping right now, so I'm going to leave the pan set there and catch what's dripping down in it for just a few seconds, and then we'll take the pan off and drain the pan. The next thing you want to do is take your filter off, and it just pops off. Sometimes you'll have to take your finger back there towards where it connects. I've already done that. It will just pop off, and then you're ready to reverse the procedure. Now, while you've got your pan off, you want to clean it real well. And here's 2 magnets that hold metal shavings that come out of your transmission. Make sure you clean them off real well also. Make sure you take your magnets off and clean under them. If you notice, there's a divot that holds your magnet, and then there's 3 raised areas that keeps your magnet off the bottom of your pan, which helps it attract from the bottom and the top. And when I took this pan off, very, very proud of it because those magnets are working great. All the metal shavings were on the magnets. There was none in the fluid, none in the bottom of the pan. I've seen a couple of videos where when they took the pan off, it was just black with shavings. So I feel real comfortable that this particular transmission is doing its job and doing it the way it needs to be done. So we've got it clean. We'll set it off to the side here. And our next thing to do is to start putting it back together. And I will have another video starting that here right after this one. And I'll show you how to put it together and get fluid in it. And then I will do another video on showing you how to level off your transmission fluid properly. So to go back, changing your transmission fluid, you want to drain it. With an evacuator, you'll drain approximately 5 quarts out of it to 6 quarts, and that will leave just a little bit of transmission fluid in the bottom of your pan, which makes it easy to handle. Once you've got that drained out, down to about a quart left in it, you'll undo all your bolts that hold your pan except for the 4 corners. You will loosen them, hold your pan, take those 4 off, then lower your pan. The one thing you have to be careful about, there's a little tab right here that you have to just shimmy it a little bit over to the right, and the pan falls right off. It's not in the way. It can just be bothersome if you hit it. It can knock the pan, and you can spill what little bit of transmission fluid's in there out. Then once you get your pan off, you take your filter off, which connects there. You clean your pan, take your magnets off, clean your magnets, and then you're ready to reinstall. So it's about 10:30 right now, and I started this at 9:30. So it took us 1 hour to drain it, take the pan off, take the filter off, clean the pan, and get everything ready to reinstall. So now we're ready to get the filter, the new gasket, and get all that installed, and then we will be pumping the transmission full. So, hey, this is pretty easy. Considering it's $600 at the Chevrolet dealership, and I called the Valvoline oil change place, and they don't even do it because they don't have a dipstick. I'm sure that policy will be changing since there's a ton of these cars on the road, and they need to make money. But right now, they said no, they don't do it, or at least the one in my hometown doesn't do it. So it's going to, I think a filter's going to cost about $35. It's probably going to cost somewhere around $20 to $25 for the transmission fluid. And I haven't priced that yet. I'm actually going to go pick it up. It's one of the reasons I'm splitting this video up. And a gasket's probably about $5 or $6. So, I mean, we're looking well under $100 to do this. And probably, I imagine it will take just about an hour to put it back together. So we're looking at about 2 hours worth of work. Man, I like saving $600. Hey, talk to y'all a little bit later. Come back and see me.